Hey, what is up all you do-it-yourselfers? My name's Dylan Taylor. This is Dylan's DIY Workshop, and today we're fixing the lighting situation in here. It's really bright, but if I just turn this off, well, it's really dark over here, it's really dark over there, it's kind of lit up over here. That's the problem. So I don't really have enough lights in. So what I'm going to do is put these pot lights in here. These are floodlights, 4000K, so they're pretty white. So we're putting these lights up here. I'm going to kind of show you how you do that. First things first, don't do your own electrical. Okay, now that that disclaimer's out there and I'm not responsible for anything you do, this is how you do it. Or at least this is how I'm gonna do it. Lights are very, very thin. They have a driver box. This is where you hook your 110 up from your wires, then this just plugs into here, so they're two separate, so you can move things around. So we'll get started. These lights, they are $10 a piece on Amazon. You buy 16 of them. By 10, there's something like $12 a piece. So if you're upset by the thumbnail, leave a dislike and get out of here. So this is really a very affordable way to install lights, unless you want to buy like an LED bar light like that for $50. Do the entire room for that much, as you can buy wire and not have to buy a whole spool like I did for $60. That being said, you're going to get more light out of these, and they are much slimmer than that. They can be connected to a switch, and they don't have a ugly extension cord drooping off of them like that one. Okay, so I'm starting off with the middle of the room. That is a pigtail hanging from a light because this basement was never finished, so it didn't have proper light fixture, which is not that cool. But we're going to start here. One light is going to go up here. Another light's going to go here. Another light's going to go there. And another light over here to get rid of this darkness and kind of, you know, shed some light on that doorway there. To run some wire, first off I'm going to come to here. Then I'm going to double back and go to this light, and then this light, and then this light, and I'm going to follow the pre-existing holes. So that all being said, you want to skip that, go to this time code right here. If not, watch a time lapse of me doing that. How those things get bent. Alright, so that took a little bit longer than anticipated. I did also drop wire, the whole spool, on the floor, but kind of sort of where these things are drooping down. You can't really see that well because the focus on this camera is terrible because it's broken. One light here, another light here, another light here, so those two are kind of sort of centered around this workbench. This third one kind of lights up this area, and then this one is going to go right here. This is something I can always take apart and put somewhere else. It doesn't really necessarily need to be perfect, and as you can see here, nothing is really perfect in here. It just works. It's not necessarily spaced out proper. They are all, however, exactly 3 feet away from that wall and that wall. It's just the distance in that line, it varies a little bit just based on kind of where I can put them. Next step, staple all the wires where they need to be, just so that they're hanging down where they need to be. Staples are holding. So what you're going to need for that, these boxes suck. Here, these right here. So you just kind of get the wire on its flat, get it where it needs to be, hammer these little nails in, and you're golden. You're gonna drop at least a dozen of them. Another thing, when you're hammering these in, tap, tappy, tap, it'll hold itself in, then you move your hand so you don't smash your hand, and then you bang it in. Now, however, when you don't have somewhere to swing because of something like ductwork, what you could do, let's do this wire right here, we'll put it just above that wire. So see how I can't even get my hammer in there straight? You could come up here, yeah, you guys can see, get your wire where it needs to be, hold your staple over it with one finger and kind of hold the wire with your palm, and use the side of your hammer. Kind of tapped in, see how they're holding themselves now? Done. So you can use the side of your hand. There's even less space than that. You can use a pair of linesman pliers, and you can use the side of that, or you can even use them there, but they're not very easy to, they're not heavy like a hammer. Using the side of a hammer a lot more weight to it, and you're good. Alright, I'm gonna go around and staple all these. You're supposed to staple about every 18 inches, I think, so 1.5 feet. I'm gonna put a staple there and a staple near where this is going to be so that that wire holds straight, and every time it turns a corner, be it wherever it is. And there's no way you can staple this, you just run it from one hole to the other. So the first one's gonna go here. I'm just gonna take this 1x6 that I have, make sure that when I actually drill my holes, there's still gonna be enough left on the outsides to still be strong and hold on to this. And I'd say for the weight that this is gonna hold, sufficient. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these to length. I just want it to be flush and flush. We're gonna take our measurement right here, 17 3/8. So we'll come over here, 17 3/8. We'll just mark it with our pencil and speed square it. I really love these pencils. If you guys have never heard of it, it's called Pica, P-I-C-A. This is the Pica Dry, which is a mechanical pencil, and the lead that I have in it, or lead, is their red, and it's water soluble, so you can mark on white tiles with this red. It goes right on, and water takes it right off. So you can mark just about anything, wipe it off with a little bit of moisture, and it's gone. So it's really nice for marking things. Okay, since this is pine and not plywood, it's got a tendency to strip and to split. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pre-drill my holes that I'll put the screws in, and I've got a countersink bit on this. Not necessary, but I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the hole will go here. I'm not actually going to drill it down here. I'm going to mount it to the ceiling first so that it's solid. So we'll just drill the hole there. I'm going to put 3 more of these up, and I'm not going to make a time lapse because the battery up here is about to die. That one, both done. This one is just hanging down. I did these last night when I didn't have the hole saw. I got everything set up, but I did leave this one right here to show you guys how I did the whole thing from where we left off. One of the things you're going to need to do is drill your hole. I'll just do that first while I got these safety glasses on. Depending on how you want it to look, you could move your light to wherever you need to based on your spacing, but I'm just going to put it in the middle of all of these. So there's our crosshairs, and that's what we're going to drill from with the center of our bit. Is this recording? Oh yeah, it is. Hi. So it's going to bite pretty hard with a big hole saw like this, so be careful that this thing doesn't swing and hit you in the face. Also, instead of just pushing really hard on it, rock it back and forth, like side to side, so that it cuts here, then cuts here. That way you're letting the saw do the cutting rather than the force of your arm. And if there's something above it, like this vent, you're not going to blow through and crush it. It's just going to finally pop through. So let's drill this. Alright, so we're all done with the hole saw. We could get rid of that now. If the wood piece gets stuck in your hole saw, instead of trying to use a screwdriver to jam it out one of these holes, take your hole saw, unscrew it, and while it's still in your drill, pop it back out with this from the center. You definitely want safety glasses when you're drilling above yourself looking up, because everything falls on your face. You should wear safety glasses drilling normally. That's especially true for a time like above you. We are going to be putting one of these boxes on right here. They do have mounting screws, or if you want, you could just set it on top there. Or if this is a finished ceiling, you just slide this through the hole and have it sit on the ceiling so that you can pull it out when you need to. On the inside of these, we've got these clips right here. Our wires are going to slide into those, and also out one of these holes, either there at the bottom or the other side. Since I'm putting mine excuse me, you can, with these ones, they're so thin, you could just use your finger to pull the tab down, So just pull it down, wiggle it back and forth, twist it off. There you go. That's the box. Set that aside for right now. You're gonna want a pair of wire cutters that you could cut the wire with. Pick a length that you're good with, right about there. Okay, now you need to strip the wires. You can either use wire strippers or just use a knife. Come down the middle of this wire that goes the sheath. Okay. I'd ask for you guys to please ignore the hammering upstairs. My brother is also using wire staples to put up LED strip lights, so. Okay, so now that you've sliced down the middle of that, you can just kind of pry your way into it. Give yourself, maybe a little bit more than that. About there. Say 3.5 inches. Slice that off. Do the same to the other one. And then with this one, you want about 1 inch off of the white and 1 inch off of the black. And of course, the ground is already just bare copper. That's how you could do it with a knife. You could do it fairly quickly with just a knife. You don't have wire strippers. I can't find my wire strippers, so that's why I'm using a knife. So now that you've got that done, do that again to the other wire. You're gonna need one of these plastic grommets that is going to hold on to your wire and hold it in here, just so that sharp metal ring isn't going to be digging into the wire if anything ever gets moved or pulled. Slide it through the grommet, making sure that this tapered bit right here, the smaller side, I see that it's slanted on the one side. That's the side that you want to put the wires in. Right there, that's where it's gonna go. You'll notice you can't really pull these back off either, so don't slide it on too far. Okay, so you'll also notice that these are all kind of a little bit floppy. Slide those out to the side. Slide all your wires through. They bump into the other side. I just take them and bend them with a pair of needle nose pliers so that I could continue sliding this thing up there. You gotta squeeze it together and pop it in. And depending on, how strong your hands are, you might need to use a pair of pliers. I used a pair of pliers on all the other ones. It's just across the room, and now that I'm filming, I kind of just wanted to get this done. So you're gonna want to take both your blacks, one of the lights that is connected to another one. The last light, which is the one that's over there for me, it only has one wire, but all the other ones you're going to want to connect one light into the other. Have up to 3 wires come into each one of these clips. You're going to take all of your blacks and you want to attach those to your black. Where they are, you want to use your needle nose pliers, hold on to a plastic clip, slide them in, and there's a little tooth in there, so they shouldn't come out. So give it a little wiggle. You don't tug on it so hard, but give it a little wiggle. Make sure it's on there good. Then you want to put both of your grounds. You can do this in any order. Both of your grounds, which are the bare copper ones, need to be on the green one. So once they're all the way in, you'll see. I don't know how well you can see that because of how bad the lighting and everything is in here, and this lens is terrible. But the copper goes all the way to the ends. You want to make sure that it goes all the way to the ends, and that's why we stripped off 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch off of each one of these wires. We'll do the same to the white one. We'll get it attached here, and then we fold all this in, close the lid, and put this, either screw it to your floor joist or wherever you're doing this, or just set it on top, and then we'll show you how to pop the light in. And it's also on that side that's got an arrow. If you look right down the hole, there should be a little tab. Slide that in, and then you'll see that there's this extra little doodad. That's what you need to thread on, and that's what keeps everything airtight, dampness tight, and also just keeps the wires together. Now it's not hanging on the connection, it's hanging on that thread, so you can have it hanging down like this if, say, you're planning on doing drywall or something, or putting something on the ceiling. You could leave them hanging down if you really need light. Otherwise, you might be better off to unscrew it and work with work lights somewhere. But actually put this light in. See how it has these 2 clips on the back? Just fold these clips, fold them both up. So instead of being like this, fold them both up, set one on the opposite side, kind of set the light up, and then put your other clip in here. This way it's not going to snap back and hurt your hands, because they are springs. They will come back at you, and they're probably about as strong as a mouse trap and hurt maybe just as much. So there we go. I'm sorry for all the hammering. That is all of the lights up. That is all 4 of mine. And now we're going to come over to the existing light and tie this wire in. They should all turn on when we turn the breaker back. That is first, is turn the breaker off. So I'm going to need to get another light in here so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got all the lights off now. That isn't getting any quieter upstairs. My brother's still got a lot of wire staples to put on, and he's putting them on a shelf. I have turned the power off. I've got this light here on an extension cord through the other room. And this is the part where I can't really help you guys because it's going to be different in every situation where you're actually tying it in. Depending on what it looks like, I can show you what I'm going to do for mine, but yours might be completely different. So if we look up here for mine, I have a 3-wire and a switch line. So this switch line literally just goes to a light switch over there, and that's it. There's just 1 wire. Now here, this 3 line goes to another light and also to the switch line. So this 3 line, we're going to take the red off of and the white off of. So see how it's on this pigtail already? We've got the white and the red, and then the switch line just goes from here. But we have these 2 morettes that are powering this light, and those are the 2 we're going to attach to, basically. So we're going to unthread this, add our 1 wire to it, which would be the white one for this white one, and our black one to this black one. And then also, if you see way up in here, we got the ground on the inside of here on those screws. So that's where we are going to put a wire. Actually, the ground screws are further up. The ground goes to the box, white to white, black to black if you've already got a light. And if it's just a regular light and it's only got white and black, as long as it's wired properly, white goes to white, black goes to black, and you should be good. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys the lights. This is the one that I've already had. Oh, shoot, hold on. This is the one that I already had in here. It's just plugged in outside the room now. So you come in, a little bit of daylight sticking up through there. Turn this light on, and there is light in that corner. Pretty much. Maybe I need a little work light on the bandsaw once I get it set up. Light all the way through that corner, and light all the way over to these workbenches so that I can actually, well, not workbenches, storage area, so I can actually see. And then by the time that you plug this guy in right here, the rest of the room lights up. I've got these work lights for this workbench, and I also have a light that goes on that workbench. So one more little light there, or the window actually provides a lot of light. This whole room is lit up really nicely. Okay guys, so that is going to be the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and maybe learned something new. Also, be really careful doing your own electrical if you're going to. This is a fairly simple thing that you can do. It's not something you should really mess around with if you don't know what you're doing. My dad is an electrician, and I questioned him along the way doing this. Get in contact with somebody who might know, or read up on it a little bit better, or just do anything you're gonna do at your own risk. But this was fairly simple if you know a little bit of wiring. So thank you guys so much for watching. I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters, especially the top tier Patreon supporters, Randy, Robin Bird, and Mike Maxwell. You guys are amazing. If anyone else wants to help support the videos that I create or the projects that I make, Patreon is probably the best way to do so, and I will leave a card up in the top right corner of the screen. That is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are new, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please share this video with a friend. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. See you guys all next time. Peace out.